Bruce Lee, the man who never lost a fight. But how? Today, we're diving into the truth behind the legend. And trust me, it's not what you think. Stick around. This might just change how you see everything about fighting and mindset. You ever hear someone say, Bruce Lee never lost a fight? And your first instinct is to roll your eyes a little, right? Like, come on, nobody goes undefeated forever. Not even the greats. But here's where it gets wild. That might actually be true. Bruce Lee might have never lost. Not just physically, but mentally, philosophically, maybe even spiritually. Now, I'm not saying he walked into underground tournaments beating 500 dudes blindfolded. I'm saying Bruce Lee didn't approach fighting like other people did. And once you understand how he thought, how he trained, and how he lived, you start to realize that Bruce didn't fight to win in the way most people understand it. He fought for something way bigger. So today, we're diving deep, not just into his punches and kicks, but into the mindset that made Bruce Lee basically untouchable. The reason he never lost a fight is because he couldn't. Losing just wasn't something that applied to him anymore. Let's take it back. Bruce was born in San Francisco, grew up in Hong Kong, and by the time he was a teenager, the dude was scrappy. Always in trouble, always in some kind of street fight. But the difference was, Bruce didn't just fight for ego. Every fight was like a lab experiment. He wasn't just throwing hands. He was studying. Studying movement, reactions, timing, pressure points. That obsession with understanding the why behind everything, that never left him. He trained under Ip Man, learning Wing Chun, which gave him serious fundamentals. But even back then, Bruce was already starting to question things. Why limit yourself to one style? What if the opponent fights differently? What if there are no rules? And that question, that curiosity, would go on to fuel everything he did. Here's something wild. Most fighters, they train to be the best in their style. Bruce? He thought that was dumb. He thought styles were like cages. Traditions passed down blindly, without asking if they still worked. So he started breaking all the rules. He trained with boxers, fencers, wrestlers, judo guys. He wasn't trying to be a master of all styles. He was looking for what actually worked. And when he found something that didn't, he threw it out. Simple as that. That mindset became Jeet Kune Do, his personal martial philosophy. It wasn't a style. It was literally anti-style. It was about being formless, adaptable. It was about stripping away the unnecessary. Fighting not from memory, but from instinct. That's where the "be water, my friend" quote comes in. You've heard it before, probably on a t-shirt or in a motivational video. But it's not just poetic. It's tactical. Water doesn't resist. It flows around obstacles. It fills any space. It adapts. And that's how Bruce fought. He didn't try to overpower his opponent. He didn't get caught up in style versus style debates. He flowed. He anticipated. He moved in a way that seemed effortless because it was. He wasn't reacting. He was already ahead of you. And you want to know something? Bruce did get challenged. A lot. People would show up to his classes looking to test him. One of the most famous cases was Wong Jack Man. The story goes, Bruce was teaching martial arts to non-Chinese students, which some traditionalists didn't like. So this guy challenges him to a fight. Now, depending on who you ask, the fight was either super quick or went on for a few minutes. Bruce won, but he was frustrated. He felt it took too long. So what did he do? He didn't sit around bragging. He went home and completely reworked his system. He trained harder, smarter, faster. He stripped his movements down to the essentials. No fluff, no wasted motion, no show, just pure efficiency. And man, the way he trained, it's legendary. Bruce was obsessed. He lifted weights. He did crazy endurance workouts. He stretched constantly. He had punching drills, kicking drills, footwork drills, reaction drills. He studied anatomy, psychology. He read books on philosophy, biomechanics, warfare, fencing, boxing, you name it. He even customized his own equipment. Ever seen his 1-inch punch? That's not magic. That's power generated from perfect form, perfect timing, and a deep understanding of how force transfers through the body. There are stories of him knocking down guys twice his size, breaking boards midair, punching faster than cameras could capture. But again, it wasn't about showing off. He was training for real fights. Street fights. No rules. No second chances. And yet, he wasn't violent. Not like you'd expect. Bruce didn't fight out of rage. He didn't enjoy hurting people. He was actually pretty peaceful. He believed in control. He believed in self-mastery. He once said, "The martial arts are ultimately self-knowledge. A punch is just a punch. But once you master yourself, that punch becomes something else entirely." Let that sink in. It wasn't about dominance. It was about discipline. And in that sense, Bruce Lee wasn't just a fighter. He was a philosopher, a seeker. And that's the heart of why he never lost. See, most people fight for ego, for pride, for recognition. But Bruce fought to improve, to grow, to understand. And when your goal is internal growth, you can't lose. You either win or you learn. Even if someone beat him physically, which, let's be honest, would have been incredibly rare, Bruce would have walked away with data, lessons, insights. That's a win in his world. He didn't care about titles. He didn't care about being undefeated on paper. He cared about becoming the best possible version of himself. And honestly, that mindset makes him unbeatable. Because how do you beat someone who doesn't care about beating you? How do you throw off a guy who's flowing like water, adjusting in real time, constantly improving, never afraid to fail? You don't. You can't. And let's not forget, this guy changed everything. Not just in martial arts, not just in movies. He changed how people thought about movement, mindset, and mastery. Before Bruce, martial arts and film were stiff, robotic, almost theatrical. After Bruce, it became real, raw, explosive. He brought philosophy into fighting, art into combat. He showed people that fighting wasn't just violence, it was expression. He paved the way for modern MMA. Seriously, before there was UFC, there was Bruce Lee combining boxing, judo, wrestling, and kung fu. He literally wrote in his journals about blending grappling with striking decades before it became mainstream. He was ahead of his time, like way ahead. So when people ask, did Bruce Lee ever lose a fight? The answer isn't just no. It's that he transcended the idea of losing. He didn't chase trophies. He didn't chase clout. He chased truth, self-knowledge, perfection of form, total alignment of body and mind. And the craziest part? He was just getting started. Bruce Lee died at 32. 32. That's so young. And yet, in that short time, he flipped entire industries, rewrote the rules of martial arts, and inspired millions of people, fighters and non-fighters alike, to train their minds, their bodies, and their spirits. He never lost because he never fought out of insecurity. He fought from a place of purpose. He wasn't trying to prove something. He was trying to be something honest, something excellent, something complete. So yeah, Bruce Lee never lost a fight. And not because he was some untouchable superhero, but because he redefined what it meant to win and what it meant to lose.